I'm down for whatever, but I never fall. Whenever I need my soldiers, they there when I call. I'm never scared when it's time to lay my life down. I need some warriors to stand with me right now. Forget about the hate, I gotta stick to the plan. I pray to God every day to be a better man. With all this pressure, I'ma need to hold my own. I don't wanna do nothing.
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. I'm Arthur J, and this is my co-host Tori, and we back with another episode.
Yes, sir.
We gonna get right into it, man. You see by the title is, Am I My Brother's Keeper? We killing our own. Tori, man, this is a serious topic, man. I want to really talk about this in this episode because, you know, it's a lot of kids dying in the streets, man.
Yeah.
You know, it's a lot of things going on in the streets, and I wanted to tie you right in this, man. You know, I know there's guys who grew up just like me. You know, I grew up with two parents. I grew up in a nice neighborhood, and one thing that guys who are from the streets, they always used to tell me growing up, like, man, I admire you because you don't pretend. You don't try to make it seem like you from the streets and you're not. You don't put on the front. And one thing I noticed with street guys, they don't like for anybody to put on the front of pretend, the real street guys.
Yeah.
And I want to tie you right into this, but why do you think that the young men who grew up just like me, you know, in a very nice home, why do you think they find the streets so appealing? You know, why do you think they find it so appealing to be in the streets than to just have a regular life?
Man, I'm going to say this, and I can't just give it all the credit to definitely just not hip-hop, because we got good hip-hop. We got all kind of music. My thing is, it's a lot of the TVs, the movies, a lot of things that they see that they're projecting to the fantasy of what the streets really is. On the front end, they show the cars, the women, the houses, the jewelry, you know. But on that back end in real life, they see the real actual facts of the situation on their local news about kids dying or homeboys going to prison for 20-some years. You know what I'm saying? So I think a lot of that comes from misguidance from things that's projected into the world and the glorification or glamorification of what the streets has a fiction of what the streets is. Yes, those things does comes with being in the streets for some, but most of the time it's either jail or death. Those are two options, definitely, if you stay in too long. And one thing I want to say about something you said about basically OGs don't like fronters. The streets know real, period.
Yeah.
You get behind those cells and you proclaim, oh, I'm doing this. It's some real killers and things behind those jails that'll eat you alive. But when I was coming up, we didn't have a choice. We come outside, that's what we see. We see the drugs pushing. We see all this thing. So, of course, we're going to try to dabble in it a little, you know what I'm saying, depending on how we was raised also. But if my homeboys, my brothers, my uncles all was in the street gangs. But my thing is, you still had OGs back then that'll tell you, look, hey, you need to go do something else because they see something in you that this ain't for you. And they'll try to stir you away from that. Now it seems like it's a fad. Ain't no OGs. Where the OGs at?
Yeah.
Little young bucks running the streets now, and they don't really have a care in the world or what they do. So, you know, I think a lot of things is what they see and project it as fame and all that stuff, but they don't show enough of the reality in those movies and all those things of what can happen in the end. So
That's real, bro, man. That's real, man. Even the celebrities, man. I be seeing like celebrities, and I've heard real gangsters talk about celebrities that find the streets so infatuated.
Find the streets at 30, 21.
Yeah,
Come
like
on
they
now.
want to be a part of a gang, and
Yeah.
you know, and you be like, man, you making all this money, all these millions of dollars, you got all these women, and the thing that you feel like is missing is the streets. You want to have that street credibility,
Exactly.
and you know, it just always got me, man. It just always kind of like really pissed me off, man, because I be like, why do you think that the streets seem so cool to guys?
And I just really don't understand it myself because when I was coming up, this all I can speak on. It's my truth. When I was coming up, when we hustled, we was hustling to get out.
Mm.
Nowadays, if they don't even come from that world, they hustling to get in. Why? You know what I'm saying? Why would you want to be a part of a world that it comes with violence, it comes with jail, it comes with death? Why do you want to be a part of that world where at the end of the day, you don't know by day, minute by minute, what is going to be the end result? My OGs, we hustle to get out the game, to make a better life, to start a business, to do something of that nature, get out the game. But nowadays, I mean,
Right.
I don't understand the youth these days. You know what I'm saying? But it's all just, we got to do our just diligence to reach out to some of these youth and see why they do some of the things that they do.
Right, man. Because you'll have the youth, they'll be more interested in how things look than actually getting
Exactly.
money. And that's crazy to me. Like, it used to, like you said, back in the days, it even though it was wrong, it was a purpose. Like, I even go far back. I've heard of someone who was a gangster, you know, was in the streets heavy, and they changed their life, you know, through God's grace. I heard them once say, like, man, way back in the days, the gangs was designed to protect the community.
Yeah.
Like, way
That's what
before
it
they
was.
started going
That's how it
at
started
each
out.
other. Yeah, it
That's how it
started
started
out
out.
protecting your community, protecting the hood, protecting, you know, their own. Nowadays, we not protecting our own, we killing our own.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that junk crazy, man. That junk crazy that, you know, and we gonna get into it. It's crazy how much coolness matters more than making money. More. You know what? I heard Rick Ross say this, man. I'm gonna tie you back in this, but I heard Rick Ross say this. Rick Ross, I ain't say it. Rick Ross said it. A boss said it. He said, "Man, you know what's gangster to me? What's gangster to me is when you can provide for your family. When you can put on other people, and you can put money in your friends' hands, and you can help them get out of situations. You know, and instead of looking for better situations and solutions, we just find it to be cool to just be stuck where we are. Especially, like I say, the young have it real bad, man. It's wild out there now. Like, they will blow your brains out over anything, over something stupid, man. And I'm gonna tie you right into this, man. It seems like the people who grew up in the streets, they look at the streets a lot different than the ones who didn't grow up like that. And why do you feel like the ones who grew up in the streets and they didn't always have what I had or what I have, you know, two parents that always been there and they raised me right. Why do you feel like the people who was in it for real, they really don't glorify it like that?
Because at the end of the day, it wasn't designed by choice. It wasn't choices. It was part of our surroundings that we had to grow up in. So we look at being in the streets or the slums or like something we had to do to make a better way for ourselves. Even though it's a lot of people who grew up in the same community, in the same slums, they had a different path, but most of them had, you know, both parents in the house showing them how to make a better way for themselves or whatever. But at the end of the day, we know what the struggle about. We probably seen people dying right next to us, like in real life, not nothing pretending you see this person on the next movie or the next show that come out. No, real life. So we know the running from the police or always having to watch your back. So we see the real grimy side of what the streets really is, not something coming from the suburbs and then coming to the hood and all of a sudden now you popping because you probably was, you know, some little square, I guess that's what they want to call it, but I call it good living. You know what I'm saying? But now what makes you a square is coming from somewhere where you got it, not saying made like you don't have to put in hard work, but you won't have to go through those choices in life. And now that's backwards. That's hustling backwards. You come from the suburbs to the streets. I don't get it. So the realness in us coming from the streets is, man, we trying to, like I said before, we trying to get out of this environment. You know what I'm saying? So we can come back and help our community. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, it's
a different view because I think it's, you know, for the people coming in, they looking for the coolness. They looking for, I guess, to be known, you know, the attract ladies or I don't know, you know what I'm saying? But like us, man, forget that. We're about trying to really get money and get out and make a better way for ourselves.
And I understand that a lot more than just the look, man. Logic over over looks. And what I mean about logic, or I'll even say reality over looks, or
Yeah,
reality
that's
over
really,
image.
yeah.
Because now in today's society, the reality is, when you in the streets like that, there's only one way, like you said, majority of the times. A lot of people don't make it out. They either get killed or they be in jail.
Yeah.
So it's like, you don't want to look at the reality, but you want to look at the image of the glamorous of how it's going to look on the ground.
Yeah.
And that's another thing, man. That's another thing. You get on, like, real gangsters don't get on the internet. I'm going to say that again for the two people in the back that didn't hear me. Real gangsters don't get on the internet and do all that.
Yeah.
I'm not even a gangster. I never claimed to be a gangster. I never claimed to be from the streets, and I even know that. If I have a problem with somebody, Tori, I'm going to say it right here. I'm not going to get on this camera. I'm not going to get on the internet. That's the time I'm going to put my phone down.
Yeah.
Like, if it's an issue with somebody, that's the time I'm going to put my phone down. And so it just amazed me how, what's the line? What's the Drake line that he said about me? The trigger finger turn to Twitter finger.
Yeah.
That's hard to me because I'm like, you got a lot of Twitter fingers out there.
That's definitely a lot with the choices, I think, from my generation to the newer generation. You could easily make yourself gangster or a street or this because of the internet. You know what I'm saying? Which is a plus and it's a negative. So anybody could be gangster these days. Anybody could become hood, just because of those factors. We didn't come up with the internet. We actually had to have our names actually in the street. Somebody know who he is and et cetera, et cetera. Not glorifying that, but at the end of the day, you can get on the internet and become whoever you want to. I don't know why you want to become a gangster, because in all the gangster stories, a lot of the gangster stories, these people that they praise and stuff been snitching and going to prison. And come on, man, like got people like Nicky Barnes, big time gangster, snitch.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Got to live the rest of his life or his life, and protect the custody and things of that. I mean, y'all got a new generation on Nicky Barnes. Look at 6ix9ine.
Yeah,
I mean,
real.
All like you said, people that's really in these streets gonna expose you, and then they're gonna extort you, and then now you gonna have to risk your life snitching because you pretending to be something you actually wasn't.
One thing I realized, man, just observing real street guys out there that talk about it, of they life overcoming it, is that it's a lot that come with the streets.
It is.
Like when you say the word snitch, the average person that go along, the average the average citizen that go on with their everyday life, they ain't got to worry about codes.
Because it ain't no
like
code.
It ain't no codes. Now that I do know, but in the street you got to worry about all these different codes. You got to watch your back a lot differently than you do when you just an everyday 9-to-5 worker, everyday citizen. So a lot of these youth don't take into consideration that whatever you do in life, you got to stand on that.
If you standing on that, stand on that.
You know what I'm saying? Like you going to prison now, you want to tell on everybody. It's like, that's the type. And then people who are getting told on, you got to think about that's what come with it too.
That's what come with it too.
You could get
that person
exactly
for whatever traction they had at that moment. You invited them into your circle. That you got to deal with those consequences. You're right, bro.
Exactly. And I want to encourage anybody that grew up like me, because I never wanted to get into the streets, but there were times, just to be real, I wanted to look cool. There's times when I wanted the girls to like me.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of the times, guys who get into the streets who didn't grow up like that, they feel like any way that's going to make them be cool, whether they didn't have their dad in their life to show them, like, hey, man, that ain't cool.
Yeah.
It's nothing cool about you not having freedom when you go into prison and they telling you when you got to eat, and they telling you lights out. They telling you when to shower. They yelling in your face, things that go on there. Ain't nothing cool about that, especially when you don't have no woman.
Yeah. Let that breathe.
Let that breathe. See, that's what get me right there. That's what changed my life right there.
Yeah.
30 years without a woman? What? You say what?
And that's reality.
The judge tell me one time, look, You come in here again, you gonna do such and such. All right.
Yeah.
I mean, I've never had to go to court. I never been locked up or anything like that. But I'm just saying, if I was in a position like that and the judge warned me, oh, okay, I'm good.
Yeah.
Call me what you want. No, I want to be able to see my daughter.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? You should want to be able to see your kids. You should want to be able to hug your lady, because you know you leaving. You have freedom right now to be able to go outside your door, go outside your room, and not have nobody, you know, treating you like an animal. Ain't nothing hard, ain't nothing cool
Yeah.
about. I remember Tupac once said, and I'm gonna tie you back in this, but I remember Tupac once said, growing up I thought I had to go to jail, but I tell anybody, it ain't for
Yeah.
nobody. Jail is
Mhm.
not for me, it's not for nobody. And it's
Yeah.
like you say, man, it's about choices, man. But
And one of his things that he said, not to cut you off, brother, is,
no, you good.
hey, I never had a record until I made a record.
Yeah.
So he didn't come up in that lifestyle either. His environment was
Yeah.
totally slumped out. But at the end of the day, he didn't have a jail record until he made a record and became this image or whatever we go for now, or his popularity grew. But at the end of the day, you been on just saying it like this. You out there, you shine and you doing your thing. Guess what's gonna come out behind that? Feds.
Yeah.
Period. You know what I'm saying? You moving silent if that's what you choose to do. Ain't no gangsters on the internet boasting on what they doing.
Yeah,
You
man. And see, it just remember, man, you know, again, I have to speak directly to the people who grew up like me, who didn't grow up in the streets, because I see that all the time, man. I see that all the time. I'm not trying to be funny, but there are people who grew up with me who no longer here, or they are in prison. And they grew up just like I grew up,
Man.
in the church,
Mm-hmm.
two parents who were strict and in a nice environment. And it's like, why?
Yeah.
You know, why choose a lifestyle that is going to cause you to be dead or in prison?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you don't want to enjoy your money. You don't want to enjoy being able to go out. You don't want to enjoy being able to party. You don't want to enjoy being able to have fun. And see, that's another thing I want to say. We got to be careful on even how we move, not even being in the streets.
Mhm.
So you definitely got to consider the fact of, I don't need to mess with the streets, man. I need to do what I got to do. Take that same, man. Look at these celebrities, going back to the celebrities. I'm going to tie you in. Look at these celebrities who have taken that same hustle mentality and they use it for something that's not going to get them locked up. Not to say that all of them get into the industry and they change their ways, which is another topic.
Everybody ain't Jay-Z.
Right,
You know?
right. But you do have a lot of them that have used that same mentality to hustle in the streets into their music or to whatever they doing. So I want to tie you into killing our own. Since I got into the rappers, many rappers, they dying over some BS. It's been happening since the beginning of time. We mentioned Tupac, but it's been happening since the beginning of time of like, we killing our own. How do you feel about it? How do that make Tory feel when you see that even in today's, it's the same thing of back in the days when rappers was killing each other?
Yeah, I mean, it becomes, to me, in my opinion, it's like, it's too trendy. The rest in pieces are too trending these days. It's like senseless violence. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that those things back in the days wasn't senseless, but it's like now it's just, I don't get it. You can't enjoy the fruits of your labor because you still want to carry this. I'm still 100 in these streets. I could go into the hood, not to change the community, but to chill in the hood. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So us killing us is really like, I understand some situations if you can't help it. I get that. But too often we don't have conversations because some people don't have that in them to say, hey man, hold up, pause. They let that little minute of being angered just take control of that could change the rest of their lives. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
I think it comes to most people not having the gift in them to have a conversation to see if they can diffuse the situation, because I guess that's too soft. I just seen a clip where this young guy was following this old man in the mall the other day. And the man, the grown man, he trying to walk and spare the little man, the little jitty boy, whatever you want to call it. And all of a sudden, he just couldn't take it no more. He actually gave that kid what he was looking for. That could turn out very different. This person is trying to portray he's so hard, but you don't know where some people come from too. You know what I'm saying? But we got to stop the violence, and we can't always just give it to the other race. You know what I'm saying? Even though it's messed up, but we can't always do that, because if we want change, we have to stop in our own communities killing our own self. You know, and half of the time, a lot of these people, and you know what I'm saying, I'm finna get into it now. A lot of these people, we grew up together. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We used to hang, chill, play ball, and most of the time it ain't even that serious.
Let's talk about it.
You know what I'm saying? I ain't killed your homeboy, I ain't killed your sister, I ain't beat up your sister, or any of those things. Bro, it's a conversation. Your mama know my mama. Bro, we know everything about each other. Why we can't come to a conversation and be like, we ain't got to be friends, but we ain't got to kill each other either.
Right.
You know, so we have to start with us first. That's how I feel about it.
Man, I'm so glad you got right into it, because I was just about to say that, man. You know, don't just fight for justice, you know, on the justice that we feel like we're not getting for the, you know, with the race or racial profiling and all the things that as black people that we go through. We need to fight for our own too.
Exactly.
We need to fight against the killing of our own. We are killing each other, but we'll be the first to want to go march.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it. I told you we was gonna get into it.
Bro.
We'll be the first to want to we are the world type of people, put on shirts and want to blow up things and want to go tear down things, but then when it come down to our own, we don't hold our own the same way accountable as we would the other race.
And it goes as far as, man, do y'all really know the true meaning of my brother's keeper? You know what I'm saying? Do you really know that meaning? Okay, my homeboy, we cool. Say Arthur, you go out and kill somebody.
Mm-hmm.
You kill somebody. I'm not. Yes, man, you good. I'm sorry that circumstances came, but I'm not gonna be out here on the street with a Free My Dog Arthur J t-shirt on, you know what I'm saying, till it's backwards. No, bro, you was wrong. Especially depending on the situation. If you just out and bought somebody for no apparent reason, I understand self-defense, I understand those things. But too much, we free this person, free that person. No. They dead ass wrong. Excuse my language. They wrong. And y'all want to say and glorify them. No, they need to be where they at. Period. Let's hold each other accountable. So it's like you don't get fame on the streets. No. That's supposed to be a place you supposed to be like, man, I don't want to be here. A forgotten place mostly. So I could have a chance to hopefully redeem myself, get out and do the right thing. But I'm not going to be the one. You my partner, but I'm not the one to be free my dog till it's backwards because somebody just lost their kid.
Man, that's real.
You know what I'm saying? I'm just keeping it 100. Be mad at me if you want to. I don't care. I stand on that.
Bro, you got to, man, and I appreciate that, and I just hope everybody is taking in this, because I hear so many people in the hood that, you know, there are people in the hood that go through tragic times where they always losing a homeboy, and they don't you know, everybody is not glorifying. I'm not saying everybody in the streets is glorifying it. And they're, you know, I hear a guy on the internet was just talking about how he just tired of burying somebody that's close to him. Exactly. How he just tired of he can't even go out nowhere. He's a real famous person. He's, you know, a comedian. He can't even go nowhere without somebody getting shot or a fight breaking out or nearly losing his life. But then when we speak on things like this, you'll have some idiots that'll be like, I don't want to hear that. And until it happened to you or until it happened to your son or it happened to your cousin, then you'll be the first one.
Yeah, exactly.
They took my boy. But see, when your boy was alive, you ain't go to him and be like, man, you bugging.
Exactly.
You need to fall back.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? You know, I'm not trying to be funny, and I go back to Tupac, but the thing that disturbed me, the night that, and I'm going to say this real quick, the night that, you know, the fight broke out in Vegas, you the money maker. No, we got this.
No way you should have been in that.
Ain't no way you should be in that. You will have homeboys and be like, well, nah, he riding. He riding with us. So, you know, no, you the money maker. If you love him so much, don't wait till it's over with and now you want to be crying and you want to be sobbing and falling all out at the funeral. I just hate that, man.
Yeah, man.
There's no way I'm going to see you about to end your life And the love that I have for you, I'm just gonna sit there and just be like, man, he just a real nigga. No, Tori,
For
you need to
real,
fall
man.
back, bro.
Yeah.
Don't waste your time
Hey,
on that.
catch
Don't go on
me,
the
bro.
internet doing that. Don't go to his house. Don't pull out the Draco. Like none of that, man.
Just like that, like I was saying earlier, just like that, a split second, you know, made that choice that ultimately cost him his life, or could have cost him a violation on bond or probation, whatever he was on at that time. You know what I'm saying? So you
Right.
need those, surround yourself by homeboys that's gonna correct you, or you know what I'm saying, the company you keep. You know what I'm saying? Surround yourself with people that is also scared of being conviction. You know what I'm saying? Like of wrongdoing.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna say this because I wasn't the biggest street guy. So let me clarify that. I just learned from my brothers mostly. You know what I'm saying? That deterred me. My uncle's going to jail for 15 years. My brother doing half his life behind the system. My brothers and my homeboys' brothers. You know what I'm saying? So I look at them like, okay, this ain't the place. Them writing letters to me, hey, you don't want to be in here, change your lifestyle when I ain't have, you know what I'm saying? Yes, it was my environment, but I also had to make a different path too. You know what I'm saying? I had to sometimes just separate myself and get away from here. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, those old heads, learn from your old heads. You know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to do that. You know what I'm saying? Go to jail 15 years and stuff. No, I'm not. They don't have no women in there, as Arthur J said.
That's real.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to leave my wife. I'm not trying to leave my kids. I'm not trying to leave my sons for the streets to raise. Period. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of youth is misguided, and that's how I feel about it. Because
So real,
YouTube and these TV shows and movies is raising a lot of these kids. Not all these kids, a lot of them though.
Yeah.
So,
and I'm gonna tie you right into this, man. Being put in a better environment, you know, because we about to wrap this up, man. This is just so good. We can go on and on about this, man, because we losing a lot of lives, man. But being put in a better environment, I feel like we all need to get involved, man, from the church to the activists, women, men, all of us. We all need to, because when one is hurt, we all are hurt. I'm talking to our own. I'm talking to us, black people. We need to really, really stick together. All this crab in the bucket need to stop, man.
Yeah.
All this jealousy need to stop, man. You know, we need to do better.
Yeah.
As men, we need to step up and do better. You know, take your position. As women, we need to, you know, as women, you need to step up and do better. Take your position. So I want to tie you in. How do you feel about the environment, and why do you think it's important to be put into the right environment?
The right environment, man, it could lead to better choices in life, better positions in life. If you want to stay in a negative environment, guess what's going to come with that? Negativity.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I know it don't take money to always get into, maybe to live in a better space in or environment, but surround yourself with friends. Don't be afraid to network with people that's different than you, that, you know, you can think outside of the box, somebody who may could change your views, because hanging with the same people that you are in the same environment that you in, all y'all is basically thinking the same. Surround yourself with that person that you might feel like, dang, that dude kind of weird. But that dude can be on something. That dude can be a low-key Bill Gates. You know what I'm saying?
Real.
And I want to also say something to address some of the women. You know what I'm saying? I know y'all love the bad boys, and I know y'all glorify that. A lot of them. Not all, some. So let me say some women.
Mm-hmm.
But we need to put more emphasis on these guys that's trying to do the right thing, that is working hard doing 9 to 5. These guys that's, you know, playing sports. So, hold on, a guy that might be just playing chess for a living, playing tennis. You know, tennis players make a lot of money, but you don't see most, you know, females, black females going after them. It's always football, basketball. But let's glorify or normalize these 9 to 5 regular guys, you know what I'm saying? So they don't feel like they have to go into the streets sometimes to get a name, to have attraction, you know, to the women, you know what I'm saying? And so women, hey, step it up too, you know?
Yes, sir. You know, we just going to leave it right there, man. We want to thank y'all for listening. You know, click like, subscribe,
Yes,
share.
sir.
You know, turn on that notification so you'll know when we doing it again. And I'm Arthur J, and it's my co-host, Tori. Till next time, peace.
Y'all know what it is.
I hate the feeling that I get when I wanna quit. Keep my composure when a hater say something slick. Talking 100 when you don't keep it 50. I see the fake every time you hanging with me. You say you straight, but your actions showing different. Why should I